Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, another Google document has dropped, this time by the individual Powdery timeline and thoughts about the Sinder situation. It's getting a little bit of traction, a little bit of attention. So I felt the need to go over this, look at this, see what the deal is. I think there's a lot that can be gained from this, a lot that will be gained from this, because there had to be more to the story. That's just how it is. So let's get into it. Introduction. Reading the DMs in order, without the emotional tone from individual docs, you may gain a different perspective of the situation. I have reviewed the documents and videos to create a timeline of events. If you wish to review the individual documents, they are located on the left under tabs and outlines, desktop, or at the very bottom. Okay, let's keep on going. At the very end of the timeline, I'd offer my opinion based on the evidence shared by those involved. Before the docs were shared on Twitter at some point after 4/12/2025. Nanolist leaked a DM between herself and Redacted to Shylily. The DM was about Shylily. Now, I don't know if I just didn't see this or I overlooked it, but somehow, I had seen a link between them, but this is Nanolist and Shylily are co-conspirators. They might as well be, in my opinion. Let's continue. Nanolist leaked additional DMs to Shylily, which contained conversations between Nanolist and Redacted discussing other clients. My goodness. Shylily encouraged Nanolist to share these DMs with others. Shylily encouraged Nanolist. It's probably what we're going to like. That's the whole thing. To share these DMs with others, particularly Bao, who was mentioned in them. Nanolist agreed to show others. Funny enough, Shylily admits all of this stuff. It says Shylily's video is the source of this stuff. 4/18/2025. Shylily reached out to Bao to talk about what was happening, but was asked to wait by Bao because she was getting surgery very soon. In Bao's video. 4/23/25, 4/24/25. Shortly after Bao received surgery, Shylily reached out again, not wanting Bao to put it off any longer. See what? There's an urgency there. That's interesting. Shylily not wanting Bao to put it off any longer. Shylily, Bao, and Nanolist form a group chat to expose everything. The group chat. We got the group chat. Shylily, Bao, and Nanolist discussed all possible situations and decide to make a Google Doc. Bro, they got in the group chat and said, okay, let's make the Google document. Let's go. Bro, the way that this reads. Bao was told many times to include private information about Sinder being in a relationship. Bao was told to include private information. Bao was put in a position to speak up or no one else would. That's dirty. That is dirty, man. Bao felt there was no other choice and believed the doc to be the right choice. Shylily, Bao, and Nanolist decide to sleep on their idea for one night. Because it just can't wait. It just can't wait. She said. 4/25/25. Shylily, Nanolist, and Bao make the decision to post the docs publicly on Twitter. At no point were Sinder and Redacted contacted privately. Why did they not reach out? Okay, that's what I was saying before. None of them seem to have reached out. Did any of you reach out to Sinder? Did any of you try to talk to her? Did any of you try to understand, to reason? And nobody came to her and said, hey, why did you do all that? And blah, blah, blah. What's the issue? What's the problem? Nobody tried to stick it through and understand. Everybody just immediately, boom, she is the Antichrist. It's done with. Over. Send her out. Get her out of here. And one could say that's because they were eager to get her out so they can kick out the competition, start getting that money. That's what it looks like. That's really what it looks like. They say that, best friends with Sinder, best pals. But at no point in time did they decide to reach out. I mean, especially before they post a big old expose document. I mean, come on. 10:42, Nano releases the doc. Bao releases the doc at 10:48. At 11:05, Bow's video editor, SAC, S-A-C, releases the document. They had everybody in on this, man. They said, oh, get your edited too. Oh, my God. After the initial docs were released, Sinder and Redacted reached out to Nano privately. Nano blocks them. 4/26/2025. 1:24 a.m. Sinder releases a statement on Twitter removing her manager Redacted from his position. Van Peaches claims Cinder's manager is also her boyfriend. Rain releases doc. Spite releases doc. Silverveil releases doc. This is 5:59, and then about 4 hours after, or 4:03, Spite releases, and then Silverveil. 4:27:25, Sinder releases apology. 2, Bow quote tweets reacting to Cinder's apology. So Bow and Shylily are immediately on it. Well, a little bit. Shylily replies to Cinder's apology. DMs in chronological order. I'm sure that some of you have probably already seen these DMs. But 5/10/23. Left layer and follow on Twitter, send his ideas, then follows weird. So, Redacted claims there is a VTuber copying Cinder's brand. Spite claims she is the VTuber being talked about. This is the only time that Spite is mentioned. 7/19. Redacted wants Silverveil to recognize Cinder, but understands why Silverveil wouldn't. Redacted claims that Silverveil is watching what Cinder does and copies her. Silverveil is watching, she claims. Redacted gives an example of a spinning figurine gif which Cinder used on stream before Silverveil did. Source, Bow's Doc section. We're 99% sure. She saying something but this. What to beg giving rates turn around. Bow is asking for business details from SAC. This is the proof that Bow has been working with this video editor since 2023. Source, Bow's Doc. Bow reaching out to Cinder's YouTube video editor channel manager for business details. That's 2023. Source, Silverveil's Doc. Section, Cinder and I. This is 10/20/2023. Cinder girl on the right. Post a picture on Twitter of her at TwitchCon at 2023 at Silverveil's meet and greet. Silverveil claims this was the only time they talked directly, not in DMs. Silverveil's Doc. Silverveil's manager at Mythic Talent Management Company reaches out to Silverveil on Cinder's behalf to ask for a collaboration. Silverveil politely declines. Silverveil's Doc. Sinder sent Silverveil a friend request on Discord, which she accepted. Sinder offers a different type of collaboration, sponsorships, merch, music, etc. to Silverveil, and she politely declines again. Sinder reached out to Silverveil about receiving her GamerSubs merch in the mail. And this is more of the DMs. Nanolist reaches out to Silverveil, canceling her model commission due to health reasons, but is open to doing other art commissions. Nanolist claims she can work on Silverveil's model sometime next year. Silverveil is upset, but understands the reasoning for the cancellation. This is 11/17/2023. Nanolist Doc. Redacted sends DM to Nanolist expressing that as there are more Nano babies, model clients, it becomes less special to be one. This is 11/19, so that's 2 days later. Nanolist Doc suggests Cinder and Redacted have an obsession with Silverveil. This DM is part of her proof. Just an offhand comment about Silverveil. This refers to the DM on 11/17 posted above. That sends DM to no expression there, man. Got a lot of the DMs. Nanolist says she doesn't want Cinder to be her sole model client. She doesn't want to sacrifice the other clients' projects. Redacted apologizes for giving the impression that they wanted Nanolist to only work for them. Redacted understands Nanolist's desire to continue working with other people, and they clear up some miscommunication. Redacted and Nanolist want to continue working together in the future. Nanolist tells Redacted that she wanted to be transparent with both sides, Cinder, Silverveil, and potential other clients. So why did they not reach out? Why did they not reach out? If they wanted to be transparent, why did they not reach out? They're not very transparent, are they? Redacted asked Nanolist if she told Silvervale she canceled her model because of Sinder. Nanolist told Silvervale she canceled because of health issues. Redacted apologizes to Nanolist again and reinforces that Redacted Sinder don't want to make Nanolist feel like she's forced to work with only them. Interesting. Nanolist reaches out to Sinder directly to address conversations between Nanolist and Redacted. Nanolist asks for Cinder's thoughts on the DM on 11/17. Sinder stands by what Redacted has said, but it is very interesting. It's very understanding of Nanolist working with other clients if she chooses. Nanolist reassures Sinder that even though she will be working with other clients in addition to Sinder, Nanolist will have a priority spot for Sinder when available. What's this here? Red asked me to cancel on one of their closest friends, Bao, by asking me to cancel my work mid-progress, manipulating me into thinking it is okay since she has many connections and she'll be fine anyway, so I wouldn't feel guilty about it or worry too much. It was and is upsetting to me that Red contacted me specifically to check on me canceling the model I had planned with Bao. Nanolist claim that Redacted asked her to cancel on Bao is not supported by this DM. Let's see. Nello's claim that Redacted asked her to cancel on Bao is not supported by this DM. Redacted seems to be checking cancel. Not asking to cancel Bao specifically. That's right. Where is the conversation about canceling Bao's commission? How come we didn't see that? That's very interesting. That's very interesting. I second that. Nanolist hasn't canceled yet and is scared to cancel with Bao. Redacted reassures her that Bao can find another artist quickly due to her connections. Nanolist thinks about giving the model design to Bao for free as an apology for canceling. Redacted is telling Nanolist not to sell herself short by giving the design away for free. He says maybe sell it at half price if Bao's upset. Nanolist agrees and mentions that opening the model inquiries was a mistake. Sax Doc. Sack is going to work exclusively with Bao moving forward. Source Nanolist Doc. Section exclusivity and blacklisting other creators, also on Silvervale's doc, section Nano and VTuber 1. Redacted inquires about exclusivity deal with Nanolist. Nanolist entertains the idea and asks for more details. She's open to it. Redacted wants Nanolist to not take on any new model clients and not make new models outfits for Silvervale. This doesn't apply to Nanolist's other clients. Nanolist can still do artwork commissions for anyone. Redacted is concerned that the new Nanolist clients devalue her existing clients and doesn't want Nanolist to work with specific people. Redacted claims that there has been drama between Sinder and other creators and doesn't want those creators to have access to Nanolist. Redacted elaborates on the drama between Sinder and other creators. The thing about this, Redacted claims that there has been drama between other creators and doesn't want those creators to have access to Nanolist. When he says that, that's his opinion. That's what he feels. He doesn't want them to do business with other people. It seems like, that he's saying that. But whether or not Nanolist does that or not, it's not like this dude has a gun to Nanolist's head. It's like saying, you can't work with these people. If you work with these people, bad things are going to come to you, buddy. Let me tell you, you're going to, nothing like that. Nothing like that. As far as I've seen, nothing like that. Redacted elaborates on the drama between Sinder and other creators. Redacted elaborates on the more drama between Sinder and Bao. Redacted shares his opinion on Bao's MVs, the MV editor, SAC, and why he went exclusive with Bao. Nanolist didn't include this part. Okay, that's super weird. Anonymously in-house as it will never be credited publicly, so nobody knows who does this work for Bao. Oh, it's literally law. Yeah, it's just pretty weird law, so they're in agreement. Redacted brings up a tweet made by SAC about going exclusive with Bao. Redacted claims that Bao is after one of Redacted Sinder's L2D animators. Redacted is worried that Bao is going to commission Nanolist, which means less time for Sinder. There's a gap in the conversation between Redacted at 8:54 p.m. and Redacted at 9 p.m. Why is this left out? Redacted offers different terms for the exclusivity deal. He doesn't want Nanolist to work with Bao, Blank, or Silvervale at all, models and art. Nanolist asks for more compensation since Silvervale commissions her every now and then. Redacted counter-offers. Nanolist reaches out to Sinder directly about stepping back on the exclusivity deal. She wanted to apologize to Sinder. Nanolist didn't want to be dragged into personal issues because it's taking a toll on her mental health. Nanoless understands that her unwillingness to fully part with Silvervale as a client may cause strain on their, Nanoless and Cinder's, relationship. Cinder apologizes for pushing the Silvervale terms on Nanoless. Cinder expresses her insecurities about being compared to Silvervale. I feel like she's being very honest here. Nanoless reassures Cinder that she would not prioritize Silvervale over her. Nanoless is fine not creating models for Silvervale, but still wants to do art commissions for her. Cinder and Nanoless agree that they still like each other and sympathize with each other. Source, Bow's doc. Section, she hijacked our YouTube editor. This is Bow's proof that she was in call with her video editors, including Kaiser, who was the first Cinder's video editor. Bow claims that she commissions Kaiser for one stream highlight a month. Bow claims Kaiser wanted a raise from Cinder, but was afraid due to turning down an exclusivity deal. Let me read this so I know exactly. Bow claims Kaiser wanted a raise from Cinder, but was afraid due to turning down an exclusivity deal. Bow claims that she urged Kaiser to take the exclusivity deal, and it would not affect their relationship. Yeah, it would not affect their relationship. Redacted asks Nanoless if she has plans with Shylily other than the current model commission. Nanoless says no. Redacted is worried about Shylily's model commission since Shylily has been acting strange to Cinder. Note taken, Shylily has been acting strange to Cinder. Redacted is worried that Nanoless commission with Shylily will lead to less time with Cinder. Nanoless informs Redacted of her upcoming commissions. Redacted is worried about Shylily's actions and wants to stay competitive. Nanoless is cropping the DMs to leave out more info. What was said between Redacted at 10:22 p.m. and 10:24 p.m., as well as 10:25 p.m. and 10:29 p.m. They're leaving crap out. Why are they hiding stuff? Powdur's opinion. So this is their opinion. No one involved is my friend. I have no stake in this. I just wanted to put this all together to better understand what actually happened. I compiled the DMs in chronological order because the claims made in the docs don't fully align with the evidence provided. Go figure. A lot of times the commentary is hyperbolic and mischaracterizes what is shown in the DMs. They're right about that. I felt that looking at the DMs separate from the emotional commentary is most fair to all parties. On Red and Nano's DMs. Alright, here we go. The DMs shown do not support the claim that Nano was being manipulated. What they do show is that Red and Nano had a relationship where they were open to discussing both personal and business matters. They appear to be very casual. Nano claiming manipulation is a gross mischaracterization of what was said in the DMs. Ultimately, Nano has the final say in how she handles her own business. That's the thing, that's what I was saying, is that she controls her business. There's no power play here. That's just what it is. That's just how it is. She has shown us that she can confront Red and Cinder about how their words affect her. Correct. She has also shown us that she makes tough business decisions based on her own volition, such as canceling client projects and stepping back on the exclusivity deal. She did. Cinder was like, oh, no problem. You know, they were chatting it up about that. That's true. She has shown us that she can confront Red and Cinder about how their words affect her. She has also shown us that she can make tough business decisions based on her own volition, such as canceling client projects and stepping back on the exclusivity deal. There are gaps and lack of context in the DM conversations that make me question the specific claims against Red and Cinder. I think it's right to do so. On to Red as Senator's manager and lover. Oh goodness. That's quite... Throughout these DMs, we should keep in mind that Red was acting as Cinder's manager. Yes, it has come out that Red and Cinder are in a relationship too. It makes sense that he would try to push for his client to be prioritized, especially given the 3+ year working relationship with Nano and Cinder's prominence as a top indie VTuber. Makes sense. The assumption that Cinder knew 100% of what Red was saying in DMs because they're a boyfriend-girlfriend, I believe is false. However, I do believe she stands by what Red was saying as evidenced in the screenshots. And it very well might just be me. But like I said, they're not forcing her at gunpoint to do anything. She's not being forced to do anything. Especially, when Cinder was talking to it, they were being very nice about it. The dude, Redacted, seemed like he was just saying, hey, we don't want you working with blah, blah, blah. What do you think about that? She's given choice. She's given opportunity. It's like he was just telling her opinion. Anyway, on model cancellations. The claim that Red was manipulated by Nano into canceling Silvervale and Bow's models is weakly supported at best. While it's clear that Red wanted Nano to prioritize Sinder, he also expressed understanding when Nano said she wanted to continue working with the other clients. He specifically states that he didn't want to make Nano feel like she had to cancel Silvervale's model. There's missing context to around why Nano felt she had to cancel Silvervale's commission. As for Bow's model, there's no clear indication that Red was the reason behind its cancellation. If he was, why weren't those DMs shown? Why weren't they shown? That's right. That's a good question to ask. What we do see is Nano expressing fear about canceling Bow's commission, but the actual reasoning behind the cancellation isn't provided. It isn't provided. In the end, any decision to cancel a client is Nano's responsibility. Shifting the blame to Red ignores that fact. Now, here's where I'm going to say something. I'm going to pipe up here because they're talking about, oh, Sinder is blaming Red for, and then, but when Nano blames Red, it's completely okay. It's all cool. It's all fine and dandy then, bro, right? Anyway, let's continue. Shifting the blame to Red ignores that fact. The exclusivity deal. It is completely reasonable and understandable that those affected by the exclusivity deal would be upset. But what we are shown is a negotiation, not any final terms. It makes sense that given how unpopular Nano is and how her long turnaround time, that Red and Sinder would like her to go exclusive. It means that they could get more commissions done quicker. Is it nice? No, not particularly, especially since it affects some people Sinder considers friends. Is it sabotage? No. This is one artist who works with the top indies. Respectfully, if they can commission Nano, who charges $10,000 for model art, not rigging, they have the means and connections to commission someone else. However, if the final terms included canceling models in mid-commission, that's not fair. I wish we had screenshot evidence of the final terms Nano stepped back on. I feel like that's a big thing too. If it was getting in the way of models that are mid-commission, it's just not that I agree, that isn't right. Then again, like I said, she's not forced to do anything. It's her business. She's running it. She doesn't answer to anybody. It seems like she has the final say on everything. Nano does. Anyway, I digress. Let's continue. Nano leaking DMs. Learning that Nano leaked DMs between one of her clients to other clients is both careless and inexcusable. It should raise serious concerns and plant doubt in the minds of anyone she works with. That's correct. It was a breach of trust. Is this really how she chooses to end professional relationships, by leaking private conversations to other clients and publicly shaming them through Google documents? That is crazy when you read it out loud. And when Sinder and Red attempt to speak with her privately after the initial documents are released, she blocks them. It's just crystal clear to me, people. I mean, I know I'm a little biased. I'll admit it. I'm hoping Sinder pulls through, but the thing is, it does not look good. To be charitable to Nano, it's understandable that she might casually mention Red's apparent issues with Shylily, but sharing full conversations in the way she did crosses a line. Shylily the Orcastrator. Now that is a heck of a title for this little segment here. When the documents were first released, it wasn't immediately clear how involved Shylily was. It wasn't until Bow went live on Twitch that it came to light. Shylily was the first person Nano leaked DMs to. When Shylily was live on Twitch, she claims the dominoes fell when one thing leaked. Oh boy. She claims that what Red says was effed up and slanderous, but I encourage you to take a look at the conversation on the 4/12/2025 and judge for yourself. In fact, Shylily herself confirms what Red says was true. Shylily was dodging collabs, ghosting messages, and not acknowledging Sinder when she raids. It's not slander or libel if true. Shylily has also expressed that she has been distant because of a gut feeling, quote, end quote, about Sinder. Red also said that Shylily has done weird petty stuff, which I believe is an offhand comment. But Shylily does display petty behavior, such as issues with Sinder wanting to be the Charizard, quote unquote, of V-cards, and insinuating burning Sinder's merchandise is okay. The overall attitude of Shylily gloating about the Sinder situation in her stream is pretty damning compared to Bow's attitude in her stream. Shylily seems almost pleased to have played a significant role in damaging her former friend's career. That is the number one thing. It's the smugness that Shylily has, I think that's made some people say, hold on, wait a minute. People are looking at the situation differently because she's acted so poorly about this. Let's continue. Additionally, Shylily encouraged Nano to share these private DMs with anyone mentioned in them. She also felt the Sinder situation was so urgent she had to involve Bao just days after her surgery. Shylily's response tweet to Sinder's apology doc that she wouldn't have believed either way makes heavy claims that aren't supported through DMs. I'm wondering what she saw that the rest of us didn't. Interesting. Continue. This is the segment on Bao. I believe Bao was put into a difficult position and pressured by others to release a document, under the impression that if she didn't, no one else would. She was repeatedly urged to mention Sinder's relationship with Redacted, but her decision to leave that out was commendable. That said, her document is highly emotional and includes claims that aren't fully supported by provided screenshots or mischaracterized statements, e.g. labeling it as vitriol. Additionally, Baus appears to conflate parts of Red's conversations, mixing statements made during the exclusivity deal negotiations in January 2025 with those from around August 2024. When her model commission was initially canceled, still, it's entirely understandable that Bao would be upset by Red's comments, such as calling the music video a flop, explicitly naming her in the exclusivity terms, and misrepresenting why SAC chose to go exclusive. This is a part that is addressing Sinder specifically. Let's see this. Her apology was very disappointing. It was so bad she probably should not have apologized at all. She needs to work on her apologies to friends. Maybe Sinder's friends' willingness to go public with this information is a poor reflection of her character. I'm not up to date on every single wrongdoing that Sinder has done. I don't think Sinder's career is completely over. I second that. She just lost connections, friends, and some fans. But if she's passionate about content creation, she should keep going. She should also take this situation as a learning lesson on prioritizing obligations and relationships. I've looked at a lot of people talk about the situation, but I think that this individual, Powdur, has a very measured, I'd say this is a very measured take. Final thoughts. This situation never had to go public. It could have been settled privately. Yes, I'm saying yes. If Nano and Shylily went to Sinder and Redacted privately, they might have reached an amicable solution. From what I've seen in the DMs and from watching Shylily's and Bao's streams, this didn't seem serious enough to justify a massive public shaming campaign. Nanolist is just one artist out of many, and it's shocking that this was the reason to end friendships and potentially ruin someone's career. It reads as a hit on Sinder's career by Nano, Shylily, Bao, and others involved. Sure, Redacted said some things that weren't the nicest, but these were things said in private with confidence. I think we can all relate to airing off frustrations with a friend. And the rest are the documents that were released by the others. Now, my comments on this. This is, off of the Powdur document and just what I've got to say. Let's look at some of the responses. Potion Dweller says, that's about 45 pages too long to tell me something my gut already knows. Number one, none of this should have been public. That's been repeated multiple times. Now, this is not reading what he's saying. This has been repeated multiple times, in her document and Powdur's document. Now, this person is saying it. All right, back to what he says. Two, it was very coordinated. You got that right. He says, number three, thank God that I am a man every day of my life and I don't have to deal with these things in my social groups. Not good, nice gut feeling. Powdur says, Comrade Dell, we've got Dell over here. What does he say? It's pretty much what I had already figured out. This was just pure business to remove competition disguised with an emotional costume. Quite a mask-off moment for some people involved. A spat between high school queen bees. Oh, the comments. The comments are wonderful. This is a very long response. This is the graph that I had put up in my video that somebody had tweeted out. Excellent breakdown, and it mirrors what a lot of us, not swept away by the mob mentality, have been thinking, specifically on the Nano and Shylily stuff. Nano was quite aware of her actions, pushing back several times against Red. In the leaked messages, you can see at one point when she discussed with her friends if she should take on other projects or go for exclusivity. She was also negotiating higher rates. She was not manipulated. I suspect that the reason she even leaked these to Shylily in the first place was because something caught up with her, a decision to cancel with someone, and she needed to find a scapegoat. That's interesting. Oh, this is something about Spite. Before moving on, I want to briefly mention Spite, who seems just wanted to capitulate on all of this, just like the others. Others found evidence of Sinder releasing revealing art for her model design almost half a year earlier than Spike. But even without that information, it wasn't making any logical sense. So yeah, that entire thing falls apart. You can read more about it here with the pictures. Not to mention that looking at how Sinder was extremely insecure and upset over the comments accusing her of copying others or comparing her with others, it doesn't make sense for her to copy someone in the first place. A move that would further fuel those comparisons and comments that she hates. So much of the leaked messages showed Red pushing for exclusivity. It's clear Sinder wanted to be unique and would not stand to be an imitation. This is what he says about Shylily. As for Shylily, the one I had so much respect before, she is in fact a master manipulator, it seems. This is a Shylily guy turning on her. She whipped her entire fan base and most of the VTuber community into a hate frenzy and appears to have planned all of this. Someone else mentioned that this could have something to do with the fact that despite having so many more followers than Sinder and more viewers as well, the bits she was receiving were way below Sinder's as shown in the chart below. Sinder was growing way too fast, was probably too ambitious for Lily's taste, even joining Gamer Supps as a part owner. This is why she and many others had their feathers ruffled at the phrase, "It's just business," because it resonated with them. Give this guy a true. Give him a true. He's right. He's just right. This is what I'm saying. They all knew they've done similar stuff in the past, putting business first, so they projected those feelings onto a convenient target and attacked it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is exactly what I was also thinking. Get this man a true. Iol said, this fellow right here. I gotta say, if you got some folks who aren't too sure about, the whole thing, I would recommend sending them this document. If you need to clear up anything with folks, you say, hey, wait a minute. Look at this here. Look at this document. That should clear some stuff up. We've got all the context, all the documents in this one document here. Everything has been compiled for your viewing pleasure. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, you know how I feel about the situation. I've talked about it. I don't know if I would say extensively, but I have. I've been reading out mostly other folks' takes in this video with the evidence in the document and everything that we have here. This is very compelling stuff. At first, I was looking at Shylily in a way where I was like, well, even her, doing the document with Nano. I mean, wasn't it just, I don't know. But no, she wasn't involved. She was involved this whole time. That seals it for me. I don't want to conclude too early on anything. Always keep your mind open. Always have your head on a swivel. We're looking for the truth at the end of the day. But I'm going to go ahead and put this document down below so that all of you can read this for yourself. And yeah, that's all I've got for you. See you in the next video. Peace out. God bless.